Star Trek, the next generation. You love throughout the nation. You're my favourite show. Was in every episode, you're lucky. You don't have to wait for buses. You just step into the transporter and off you boldly go. Mr. Wall's my favourite person.
We are the Org. Our mission is to assimilate Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and beer. Lots of beer.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Welcome to this little broadcast special.
I'm special, so special. I got handsome.
Yes, Amory's very
So
special.
special.
You even get a tune already, blimey. Wasting no time today. We're looking at the Picard revelations that have been on Comic-Con, and also the other series as well, Series 3 of Discovery, and the Short Treks, and also the Lower Decks cartoon as well. There's been stuff about that. So basically, for the Picard series, there is a full-length trailer on YouTube that was shown at Comic-Con, and that's readily available. I'll just play the teaser in a minute, but the full-length trailer does give away quite a bit, I think. So if you want to come to the series completely fresh, then don't listen to our gibberings and watch the trailer. But otherwise, if you're interested in hearing what we actually think about what's been revealed so far, then carry on listening.
"15 years ago, today, you led us out of the darkness. You commanded the greatest rescue armada in history. Then, the unimaginable. What did that cost you? Your faith? Your faith in us? Your faith in yourself? Tell us, why did you leave Starfleet, Admiral?
So yes, we've got Patrick Stewart sounding quite old.
But then that's deliberate.
But then he is old.
But also, he's saying this is set 20 years after, so...
Well, that's because it is 20 years after. You know,
isn't it more than 20 years after?
I don't think so.
87, yeah, 30 years after.
No, 20 years after Nemesis, which was
Oh,
2001.
okay. Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking after Next Gen, but
No,
is this after...
This is after Nemesis, specifically.
Oh.
But, I mean, he's not
Can't
acting...
they just got rid of Nemesis and just not have it in continuity?
No, afraid not,
Shit.
because there's at least one reference to it in this trailer. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, and it's not acting because he is old. I mean, when he was doing interviews, he doesn't look that much older because he's always looked old, but it's his voice that is showing his age now. But
And his neck, hence the polo necks, I think.
Yes, possibly, yes. There's a reference to a rescue mission in sort of 18 or so years ago, and I think that's the reference to the destruction of Romulus that he was supposed to help people escape from, which then canonises what's in the, what you call it, timeline.
Oh, the Kelvin.
The Kelvin timeline, yes, because obviously the destruction of Romulus happened in the Prime timeline, but we only heard about it in the Kelvin universe films. But yeah, it is definitely a thing. So there we go. There's a disassembled android in a drawer, which presumably is B5.
B4, you mean?
Was it B4?
Yeah, because that was supposed to be funny, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, there's me messing up the pun. So yes, that's a joy to look forward to, isn't it? Yes, if they put him together. Most of the uniforms we see as Picard goes to visit, because it starts with, similar to the teaser, with lots of views of his vineyards, but we get to see Starfleet Command this time. Yeah, the uniforms are kind of old Deep Space Nine style, but without the blue undershirt.
Yeah.
And instead they've got a colour that's in the division colour. But, I mean, it's a bit of a shame that that's a sort of backwards move as far as I'm concerned, because I like the First Contact ones. I would rather have seen something that sort of developed that look, rather than going back to the Deep Space Nine look. But there we go.
Yeah, because also Deep Space Nine then had the First Contact ones. I like that uniform.
Yeah,
That's my
I don't know
favourite
why they haven't
uniform.
done some version of that, but never mind. The Admiral's uniform, we do see him talking to an Admiral, has changed rather more. It's sort of primarily grey with black shoulders and red around the neck. So yes, plenty to get excited about when it comes to uniforms.
Yeah.
There's a reference to Captain Picard Day, so that's still a thing.
I like that.
Not just on Tumblr.
The banner. I like that.
And then we see him on a ship, and he's got quite a young crew around him. They're seemingly all wearing civvies, so they've possibly had to defy or leave Starfleet or summit. And also include a couple of Romulans amongst their number.
And their tech is updated from the point of view of like next gen.
Yeah, they're not using consoles anymore.
No.
They've got like
hand things,
which sort of came in with what was that film? It's the one where they predicted murders before they happened and went to arrested people.
Minority Report.
Yeah, that kind of. I think Minority Report may have been the first film that did that, and they've been using it again and again since. They've used it a bit in Discovery, but not for the actual consoles, but for like sort of scientific displays and things. But yeah, it's that's the thing now. To be honest, I'd much rather a proper console. I mean, not necessarily buttons. I mean, I'm quite happy with the next
generation. But this isn't a
stuff.
Starfleet ship, though, is it?
It isn't. I don't think. If it is, it's very darkly lit. It could be the Borg cube that we see later on.
It could be a Romulan ship.
Could be a Romulan ship, yeah, but no
or
idea.
Or just a civilian ship.
What it is very much in keeping with the style we've seen in Discovery, which is very wide.
Yeah.
So, to fit in with the aspect ratio of the TVs that we're watching on these days. But it's an interesting stylistic difference. It doesn't... If they really wanted to make you think Next Generation, they would have made it look a bit more narrow. But I guess it would look wonky then, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is curious. All the ships are suddenly a lot wider than they used to be.
Yeah.
We get 7 and 9, which was a big surprise first time I saw it.
Makes sense with all the Borg stuff, though.
Yeah, there's obviously this is big on Borg, this series, yeah.
And I like the look of the Borg cube with the blue bits. And then you see a bit at one point with this facility has gone however many days without assimilation. So obviously the Borg are a threat somewhere.
Right. But yes, whatever the story around Picard is about, it's obviously involving Borg.
And then there's this... I'm not sure whether she's supposed to be a girl or a young woman, as in, is she an adult or is she a girl? I'm not sure. But she says she feels safe with Picard. She leaps off a building and either disappears or is transported in midair. She's a threat, or maybe she isn't, and she doesn't know who she is, so I'm thinking maybe she's the Borg princess.
Gosh, there's a thought. Possibly. Well, certainly they keep talking about her as if she's dangerous, don't they? But yeah, no, she knocks a guy off and the guy disappears, so possibly he's come from the other timeline, I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the Borg stuff is, particularly if they make the Borg properly a threat again, rather than what they were like in Voyager, I'm all up for that.
Yeah, this is true. We could redeem the Borg. That would be nice as a threat. Yeah. We get an engage, because of course we will. We see Picard talking to Data, which is a sort of... I think it's either a flashback or it's something that's happening in Picard's head, because Data's wearing his First Contact uniform.
Yeah.
And they've de-aged Spiner to make him look roughly how he looked back in the days of Nemesis, at the least, anyway. Although somebody pointed out, actually, they don't need to do that, because sometime androids are supposed to age.
They are, but if this is...
Nemesis, they've got to look him like it was in Nemesis.
If they've got to de-age if it's past timeline, whereas if it's B4 or Data is older, then that's different.
I can't get excited about the idea of more Data stuff, really. No. I mean, I don't think it will be. I think it'll just be sort of flashbacky stuff, and maybe before. But I definitely can't get excited about that. But we are also promised Riker and Troy, which is nice. Up for that, definitely.
And
hopefully
Bob Picardo.
Yes, he did say on Twitter, but I don't know how much of that was him saying he's definitely in it or him just angling to appear. I mean, obviously they can have an EMH still. And he doesn't look much older, but then again, he looked quite old back in the day as well.
But then, of course, you've also got the fact that is he in it as the EMH, or is he in it? Do you see what I mean? Is Robert Picardo in it,
I don't think
or is
so.
the EMH
he could
in
be,
it? Do you see what I mean?
Not unless he's playing under a lot of makeup as an alien, because he also played the creator of the EMH, didn't he?
Yeah, so he'd be too recognisable.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
But, either way, maybe he's driving a cab. Total Recall.
A Johnny cab.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, I'm up for seeing an EMH. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how much Federation stuff we're going to see, actually. It seems to give the impression that Picard's going off a reservation and with some other rogue-type people, which is kind of a shame, but I guess it's their way of getting around the fact that generally you're part of a big fleet, so you've got plenty of help that ought to turn up when you're in trouble. Hence, Discovery's problem of them always being in the midst of things and there aren't any other ships around. So yes, that might be their solution, is that he's going a bit rogue.
Yeah.
And apparently the series will have the same composer as Discovery as well, so it'll have
cool.
similar sort of music, which is fine. I don't dislike what he's done on Discovery.
We got any directors lined up yet?
I think Frakes is lined up. I'm not sure that they've announced any others, to be honest.
Okay.
But I mean, they've started filming because we're seeing footage.
Yeah.
So that data may be out there, but I haven't looked it up.
Okay, fair enough. But for me, I'm going to give all these shows a go, but I wasn't as sure about the Picard one necessarily. I thought, do we really need it? What's he going to be like? Whereas this trailer, there's enough there to make me think, yeah, this is definitely worth me spending my time watching and giving it a decent go.
Yes, it's piqued my interest.
Yeah.
There is stuff I like about it, stuff I'm not sure about, but yeah, I'm willing to give it a go. So as and when that, I think it's late towards the end of the year, isn't it?
I
that's
think
coming
so,
out.
but I don't know whether that's coming out. It might be the beginning of the next year for the UK.
Well, I would have thought it'd be the same time on Amazon, to be honest.
Okay.
It'll, as it's on CBS, because otherwise it'll just be pirated to death, won't it? So
That's true.
And Amazon will be best pleased. Okay, so that's Picard, at least what's been revealed so far. We move on to the Discovery short treks.
Sir, Ensign Spock, reporting for duty.
No need to shout, Ensign Spock.
The Enterprise picked up a distress call from the USS Bowman. I need you to let me out of here.
You're a prisoner. Your orders carry no weight anymore.
When this is all done, you'll never see the inside of a starship again.
So the Discovery short treks, the trailer for that, a little harder to find if you're in the UK anyway. It's available on the CBS website and on YouTube in the States, but it's one of those regionalised things. But over here you can watch it on TrekCore, which is always a good source for Trek information. So
Yes.
Do pop along to that and you'll find the trailers there. We've got plenty of Enterprise action in it, which is great. This is kind of what we were hoping for, wasn't it?
Yeah, more Pike.
More Pike, Ensign Spock. So it's obviously like his arrival on the Enterprise, looking very young-faced and or keen and number one, and they're stuck in the turbo lift together. So that's obviously playing for comedy, that bit. But
Yeah.
Pike's answering a distress call, and then we've got lots of stuff about Tribbles.
Yeah.
This will be the episode, The Trouble with Edward, I suspect, judging by the name.
Yeah.
And the Tribbles are multiplying and they're threatening a crew person. They never did in the original series. They didn't eat people, but anyway. And then a girl eats one at the end, which is a bit freaky.
Yeah.
So yes, the episode names are The Girl Who Made the Stars, Children of Mars, which TrekCore reckon is likely to be the one that's a prequel to the Picard series.
Okay.
Just because you've got that Mars connection with the Romulan Empire, and obviously Romans and Romulans. Ask Not, Ephraim and Dot, and Q&A.
But aren't two of these going to be animated?
Exactly. I think possibly the last two are, but yes, not sure. But that seemed to be the inference anyway. So there we go. That's your. So they're obviously not featuring Discovery at all. At least they haven't revealed any images about Discovery. So they're presumably saving that up for season 3. There has been a season 3 image on Twitter. Whether there should have been or not, I don't know. But the actor who plays Culber on his Twitter thing put a picture of him in his white doctor's uniform with blood all over it. So
nice.
yes, things are going well. Obviously,
Yeah.
There was another picture that Jonathan Frakes put up, presumably the episode he's directing, and he's in that secondary engineering lab, sat on the steps. So, yeah, they're still using that, obviously, rather than having a proper engineering set. Abu.
I think I can understand them having a lot of Enterprise and Pike short treks as a way of meeting the fan demand that's there
Yeah.
without detracting from the main series of Discovery.
Yes. Yes, it's a curious one, because at the end of season 2 was very Enterprise, wasn't it? We
Yeah.
felt, and so this is a sort of way of keeping the interest in that going, but not revealing anything else about Discovery season 3.
Yeah.
So, fair enough. But yeah, no, it all looks interesting, and having sort of got my head around the short treks eventually, I think I'm very much up for these now.
Yeah.
Noticeably, by the way, I just looked on Netflix; they're not there anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then aren't they part of the season... Are they part of the season 1 Blu-ray or the season 2 Blu-ray?
I imagine they're not on the season 1 Bluray, so I
must be on
imagine
the
they'll be on the
season
season 2. This is probably why they've taken them off, to be honest. Excited up for that, but we kind of pretty much know what we're getting. More Pike, more Spock, more Number One. Definitely up for that.
Yep, definitely.
And if they're just short episodes, you're not worried too much about them interfering with continuity and
Yeah.
stuff. So, yeah. And then there's the Lower Decks series. Yes. So this is going to be set aboard the California-class USS Cerritos.
Doritos.
Possibly. One of Starfleet's least important ships. Yeah, that's the way to sell your series, isn't it? But I think that is kind of the idea, is that they're... And the focus is on 4 ensigns, hence the title.
Yep. Well, Lower Decks was a very good episode
It was.
of Next Gen.
Yes, it was an interesting way of looking at Next Gen from a different light. So it's got some potential as a result of that. The animation is very much in the style of Rick and Morty, which I don't particularly like the aesthetics of. But that's because it's got the same creator, Mike McMahon, who's also the guy behind Season 8 TNG, the Twitter
Oh,
thing.
cool. I like Season 8 TNG.
So there's nothing wrong with his sense of humour. And the uniforms in this are more like Next Gen ones, just with a few sort of extra pipes and things, which is a bit bizarre because apparently this is set just after Nemesis. So they should be wearing the dark uniforms. But never mind. Apparently nobody likes those except us. But this series will be canon, apparently, in a way that the original animated series is kind of not, for the most part, because there's some very wacky things that go on. But the characters are supposed to be self-aware that they're in the Star Trek universe. I don't quite know what he means by that.
Oh, full breaking like Deadpool,
If they do that, then I'm switching right off, I'll tell you that now.
Depends how they do it.
I can't abide it. Deadpool I'll give a pass because the rest of the people aren't. It's literally just Deadpool who's aware. I don't mind if one character is, but if everybody is, you think, why am I bothering to watch, really? Because it's all artifice. There's no sense of escapism and imagining this stuff is going on somewhere.
Oh, not bothered by the animation style. I can't get excited by it particularly, but don't dislike it either. Mm-hmm. The sorts of animation styles that bother me are more the ones that we got when we were younger, where it was like they didn't know how to draw a properly straight line and they kind of had raggedy edges.
Oh, British animation of the period. Yes, like sort of Mr. Men and Rhubarb and Custard.
Yes.
Where the line... Actually, I quite like it, but I can see why you wouldn't. Yeah. Nobody's going to go back to that style. That was very British, I think. I don't think the US ever did anything like that.
Henry's Cat was like that.
And I'm not a fan of the animation style of the original series, animated series, because that's just cheap. It's Hanna-Barbera cheap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of silhouettes moving and stuff and reused frames all the time.
Yeah.
Big close-ups of faces.
But I can get on with that in a way that just, as I said, your Henry's Cat, Rhubarb and Custard, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, as I say, it's not looking like that, you're right.
No, so,
But there is there's a sort of weird awkwardness about the way that characters are posed. Nobody stands like that. I don't know.
It made me think of figures on a board game. Mm-hmm. The poses and that.
It is very much of the now, and I think that's a bit of a mistake because it'll seem dated in a few years' time, but never mind. In the same way that Rhubarb and Custard looks very dated now. Why are we comparing this to Rhubarb and Custard? I don't know. We may be playing out to that theme tune. One of a nice little bit that's interesting is the ship's doctor appears to be Cation, like Emrys in the animated series. So, yeah, nice sort of nod to the previous animated series. But in some ways, I'd kind of prefer if you'd said, actually, no, it's not canon, we're just going to have a bit of fun, in which case I'd just relax and watch it for what it is. If they're attempting to make it canon, then there's a certain degree of respect you're expecting and that I don't think we're going to get. But anyway, I could be surprised. I'm going to give it a chance. Not going to write it off.
Yeah. I'll just enjoy it the same way as I enjoyed Clone Wars.
And there's one character that's kind of got like a sort of cybernetic eye thing going on.
Yeah.
One of the ensigns, which is really, really reminding me of Cyborg from Teen Titans. Which it took me a long while to get used to. The kids were big fans of, but it was like, what are they doing with this? But yeah, again, I can get around that by not treating it as canon, particularly because it's very silly.
That sort of thing doesn't really bother me. I mean, for me, that even if they tell me it's canon, because it doesn't look the same, I have difficulty thinking of it as canon. Do you see what I mean?
He can say it's canon all he likes, but yeah, if it doesn't seem that way, yes, we'll just disregard it.
Yeah, I mean, and it won't stop me enjoying it.
No, he can enjoy it as a laugh.
Yeah,
which presumably is his intent. But curious, very curious. But yeah, we'll give it a try.
Yeah,
as and when, if and when I suppose it appears on these shores. But yes, all more of CBS's attempt to have more stuff for their channel. So we're getting coming out the eyeballs. There is still planned the Section 31 series. I haven't heard anything more about that. And there is another animated series as well. I haven't heard anything more about that. But presumably that's at very early stages at the moment. So they are, after all, working on 3 series at the moment. That's quite enough, I can't help feeling. There's also rumblings that they may be taking back over the movie franchise, because it doesn't look like there's going to be another JJ verse type movie, although every so often you get more word on the Tarantino thing actually happening, and it's like, no, really, we don't need this film to happen. But anyway, we shall see. I don't know, if they put a Star Trek film on in the cinema, our kids are now old enough that we can go and see it. There's an opportunity, because in the not too distant future, we're going to be getting a remastered version of Star Trek: The Motion Picture, which is then going to get a 4K Blu-ray release. Wow!
I don't need that in my life.
No, I don't think that's going to sell it. We can't sell that to the kids, really, can we?
You can't sell it to me.
Anyway, that's the past. Let's look to the future. The next broadcast will be another couple episodes, me and Andy talking about coming of age.
And Heart of Glory.
And Heart of Glory, yes. So some juicy ones there.
And then at some point, because it's not going to be long before it's available on streaming services in this country, we will be covering What You Leave Behind.
Yes, providing our copy eventually arrives. It's supposed to be on its way. But yes, so I suspect that will be a September episode. I think it's going on to iTunes, so you'll have to pay to see it. But if it's a reasonable amount, we may be able to recommend that to you. Well, we like it anyway, don't we? And you've seen it on the big screen now as well. So.
Yes, and a few of our friends have. So
if you're paying like £8 for it, I would, just for something you watch once. I don't quite know how it works on iTunes.
No, I don't either.
But if you buy it, I like a physical copy of something. I'm old school. Well, surprise, I'm old school. So yeah, if I've got £8 to have access to something, I bulk at that. Whereas if it's like £3, maybe £4. It's not like we, if we were getting residuals from our appearance in it, we'd be, trying to get everybody to watch it. But no, we don't get a penny. Not a penny. We should have spoken to our agent about this, shouldn't we? Damn it. We'll catch you in the not too distant future. Take care. Cheerio, bye.
Bye.
Music at the beginning of this podcast was written and performed by Adam Buxton and is used with his kind permission. All music referenced is for illustrative purposes only, and no copyright infringement is intended.
Find our website at broadcast.libsyn.com.
And we have a YouTube channel as well.
You can find the broadcast playouts on Spotify for your listening pleasure.
Visit our Tumblr site at broadcast.tumblr.com, where you'll find images accompanying the episodes discussed in this cast.
Send emails or MP3s to broadcast@gmail.com.
Or you can contact us via Twitter on rev_org or broadcastammo. #broadcast.
Shut it down!